Hey, how you doing? Welcome to my show. I'm going to get right into it. I spent a lot of time figuring out what was the most important and significant brainwashing foundation to present to you. Okay? And I decided that I was just going to wing it. Because I went through 10 pages of notes over the past 3 days. Make sure. Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 3 days. All right. I'm going to be talking about why the movie The Black Panther is so historically significant to our psyche. All right. Now, there's a subtle difference between programming and brainwashing. Okay? What they both have in common is hypnotic suggestions. All right? I received 3 powerful dreams over the past 48 hours. One night, I dreamed twice. It's very different. Right now, we have an opportunity to mentally and energetically unite that we have not seen in over 50 years. The term truth and reality, that's what we're going to deal with first. The movie The Black Panther presented so many messages. The first message that encompasses the whole movie is the important balance between yin and yang. All right? For those of you who are familiar with the image and the symbol of yin and yang, it's a circle. A circle divided. Okay? Male and female. Now, this forms a circle. This alone is stationary. 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 This forms a ball or a circle. Like this planet that has been engineered and designed by a higher power to keep emotion rotating. Okay? Continuously rotating in a circle. That's movement. Okay? That's what a circle does. A ball can move in every different direction. Movement. Cut that ball in half, it can't go very far. Because once it lands on the flat end, it's stationary. So, the first thing about the Black Panther is the balance, equally strong. Slightly different roles, but that slight difference is significant. The balance between male and female. The powers that be that are not wise but clever can easily blur the differences. But deep down, that's where you find oil. That's where you find your diamonds. If you want pearls deep down in the ocean, that's where you find it. The truth lies. There's a difference between truth, facts, and reality. That's in my thesis. I'm very proud of that. There's a difference. I'm not going to go into detail right now about the differences, but one is a perception of truth. Other is statistics, information. The third is the wholeness of reality. Okay? They're actually very different, but they're all related. Then we got lies and half-truths. I don't really like the term half-truths because I think of things in mathematical forms and percentages. So, let me give you a statistic. Only 10% of the world's population don't believe that they have a soul. Don't believe that there is an afterlife. And whether they thought about it or not, that also means that they don't believe in life before their life, or human life, or life at all. Alright? It's like it all came out of nothing. One day, nothing decided to put some molecules together and create something. That makes no scientific sense. Yet it's a belief. But it's a foolish belief, whether the fool has an education or not. But that's okay. The dynamics of the statistics, 90% of the world population believe in a higher power. That makes sense. You know, we don't see a battery and think it grew out of the ground. We know it was created. So did the ancient Phoenicians, which are different from the Phoenicians. Black people have been hypnotized, programmed to believe 3 lies. That they are responsible for their condition, that they're unworthy of a better condition and deserve their condition, and third, they are incapable of uniting. That's a lie. Okay? When you are in denial about the possibility of someone planting a subliminal suggestion and it actually can control your steering committee in your mind, which controls your emotions, you're condemned to continue believing that. But soon as you open your mind and understand, do your own research, because a lot of stuff is both hidden and some is hidden in plain sight because they don't want you to look at it. They don't want you to want to look at it. Once you open your mind, you can hear a message like I'm giving to you right now. An important foundational message. The message is, you control your mind. There are others that plant messages to control your mind vicariously. Let me explain to you what that means. If I don't want you to love your culture, if I don't want you to appreciate and praise the talent of your culture, I can find a way to make you dislike your culture so much that you don't want to praise or love your culture. Okay? That's how that works. That's how mind control works. But you are in control of your mind. If you're hearing this today, you are going to receive information projected into your psyche that will free you and get you to thinking better on your own, about yourself, about your people. It doesn't matter what your culture is. The fact is, in this country and in Europe, black people have been thwarted, oppressed, brainwashed into not liking or loving themselves. But the individuals that place that suggestion go at great lengths. They don't realize they're not just hurting the people, they're hurting their own souls. Only 10% of the world's population don't believe in a soul. But 90% of the world's population believe that you have a soul. That you came from someplace before you landed on this spaceship going around in the same pattern around the sun. All right? 90%. You don't have to be a part of the 10% or the 1%. You have control over your mind. You can change your mindset today. Or if it takes you a little while, you can change your mindset next week or next month. But you can change it today. You can change it right now by just being open. Because if you don't take charge to make yourself open, there's somebody else that's going to implant information in you to make you think, desire, and want what they want for you. Even if you know it's something you don't want, you can be made to think that you want it. But they cannot control your free will. Okay? So if you accept it, you're choosing to accept it after you hear this kind of information. And there are signs all around you. If you're this much open, signs will be placed around you. Clues will be placed around you. So you can take back control over your own self-esteem and your confidence. Some of you may ask, well, why is it clues and why is it sign? Because until you can seek knowledge, wisdom, and truth, you will always be susceptible to those who want to make you believe in lies and deceptions. That's a process. Seek the truth. Seek the knowledge and seek wisdom. Because believe me, if you only seek knowledge, you can get knowledge that's a lie or just doesn't give you any credit at all, especially not in history. But if you desire wisdom to go along with that knowledge, Okay? Then you overstand things. Let me explain to you about the word. The Europeans became very good at manipulating words. Words that are spoken put off a frequency. That frequency can change circumstances and change reality. Reality is a lot of different things, but you basically understand what reality is if you understand this language. I don't have to qualify everything, but frequencies of thought change circumstances. They precede every idea. They precede every decision. They even precede every emotion. It might be very fast. A thought might be very fast, and then you get emotional. It can happen very fast. But still, thoughts precede behavior, because thoughts precede ideas, opinions, and emotions. You can feed yourself good knowledge to create good thoughts that will generate whatever it is you desire. If you desire the wrong things, bad things, decadent things, abusive things, karma is going to bring that back to you. And that can become generational. But a lot of people who are selfish and who are greedy, they really don't care about their children. Not really. You know, it's all arrogance. You know, what can my child do for me? It's going to make me feel good. Yeah. See, that's all selfish. So, I got great news. Today, you can change your mindset. Because if you don't, somebody else will, because you're valuable. This stuff called melanin, it's very valuable. It's like the power of electricity. Electricity can light up a hospital, can cook a meal for you, can entertain you, can activate a device like a computer or a television set, start a car. But also, electricity can burn you up. It's very powerful. And melanin is powerful like that. So your melanin can be used against you because your thoughts can be affected. So I'm laying this foundation to tell you everything is aligned right now. We haven't been in this particular position according to how the stars are positioned. And I'm not talking about psychic stuff. I'm not talking about astrology. There are stars. Stars' energy is connected, held in place. You got shooting stars and asteroids that have been circling for 1,000 years. It's energy. Right now, there's a window of opportunity to reject abuse, to reject child abuse, and child trafficking for the purposes of satisfying the evil lust. I scratched that off of my list of stuff to discuss because it's so complicated. And that's not really my lane. Let me explain more about this opportunity, this window of opportunity. Right now, there's a window of opportunity. Because the individuals who control controllers that profit from their control of the controllers, right now there's a small window of time because Shuge Knight and Shawn Puffy Combs are both incarcerated right now. Now, there are powers that's planning, and they've got a counter plan. They've got a plan to take the place of the first plan if it doesn't work. They've got a third plan to take control of the money and the manipulation if the second plan doesn't work. But they need us. They need us. We're the energy. We're the creativity. We're attached to God, whether we believe in a higher power or not. You can put any name on it. But to worship a note, a dollar bill, $1,000 bill, woo! To worship that instead of what is eternal, it's foolish. But that's how hypnosis works. You can put a foolish thought in the mind of somebody that's very bright, clever. Stop having respect for evildoers. Because evildoers are used by very clever and manipulative, more wealthy evildoers. Everybody's not an evildoer. So I'm not saying that. But when somebody is placed in a position of power or leadership, fake leadership, that leader, if that leader is evil, and if that leader is controlled and empowered by an evil person, the leader can lead the masses to hell, or misery, or poverty, violence, war. You can change your mindset. Right now, those two individuals are incarcerated. And it's people that stay up past midnight in buildings, in downtown areas, planning. You don't know where they are. They're planning how to benefit. They got a backup plan. They got a backup plan for the backup plan. Control the east and the west. And all the middle will fall into place. Okay? Love and humanity. Understand what love is. Understand what love is not. Because you can have something that's not love and it can be wrapped up in a lovely gift wrapping with a bow on top. All money ain't good money. Let me give you an example of something that looks and feels like truth, but is a lie. Just an example. Let's just say an individual falls in love with another individual. Let's call the individual who falls in love or becomes in love, chooses to be in love, doesn't matter. The bottom denominator is love, right? For somebody else. Let's call the individual in love, falling in love, or susceptible to falling into a toxic love. Let's call that subject A. Okay. Let's call the individual that knows how to pretend that they love the person. Let's call that subject B. Okay. Now, here's the reality. All right. You have the truth, the whole truth, and you want nothing but the truth. That has been ingrained into you. You might not remember it, but it most likely sounds familiar. The whole truth, the truth, nothing but the truth, but not in that order. I want to talk about the difference between the truth and the whole truth, and what it means to receive nothing but the truth and the whole truth. Okay? Subject B can convince subject A that they love them, but really the truth is they want to possess them, they want to control them, they want to use them. The thing about a person using anything is normally they use it, and when they finish using it, they discard it, throw it away, kick it to the curb. The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. These are three different things. They're all important. I want to focus right now on nothing but the truth. See, you can add additional information to a truth and you can taint the truth. That's crazy. But think about it. Picture, I like to do math. I'm much better at other subjects, but I like math because it's very mathematical. I know that. That sounds redundant, but it's true. You can have 80% truth. Let's say, for example, Diddy, before Cassie filed that case, let's just say 80% of what we knew about Diddy had to do with success. If we always equate success with money and equate money with success, then 80% can be regarded as success. But it only takes 10% of corruption to make all of the 80% be corrupt, because there's deception. So somebody could show you 80% that they love you. But that 20%, let's go a step further because this is true. Let's say 90% tells you that they love you. 90% of their actions, their deeds, their expressions, their gifts, their rewards, their payoff, their bribes can say, I want to help you because I love you. But if 10% of them wants to control you, if 10% of them wants to use you, if 10% of them only do something for you because they want something for themselves, it totally corrupts the whole thing. It's like a recipe. You can put a little bit of poison in all these wonderful healing ingredients, and you can still have poison. Give an example. The Surgeon General knew that there were carcinogens and addictive properties placed in most, if not all, cigarettes that were on the market. Now, let's just say the carcinogens and the poison was less than 2% of the tobacco. All of the cigarette has been corrupted. You might not see the effects of the cigarette and its carcinogens and its poisons. You might not see that effect right away. For years, for decades, but it's still there. Now, to this day, there are people that believe wholeheartedly, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, but I'm just giving you an example. There are people today that believe that when they buy the tobacco that's like in a plastic manufactured bag and they roll their own cigarette, it has less carcinogens and poisons. That might be true. I don't know. But it might not be true. For all we know, the little paper that you purchase might also have the carcinogens and the poison. I'm just giving you an example. And look, I'll just add this sidebar. I'm not saying, because I don't have to say this, I'm not saying that cigarettes are hazardous to your health. I'm not saying that. I don't have to say that. The Surgeon General said that, but the Surgeon General also knew that carcinogens and poisons were added to it. But they didn't make public statements about it. They could afford commercials. They were in magazines. It was on every label after a certain time, on every sold carton of cigarettes. They never mentioned the poison and carcinogens. They never mentioned that. They said, well, we just cut to the chase. It causes cancer. Okay? I'm talking about the difference between the whole truth and 10% truth. So, I'm going to wrap this up. There's so much knowledge, cultural knowledge, global knowledge in the first Black Panther that is no way I could even pick out what's most important in one session. So I have to break it down in sessions. So I'm committing to do that. It's going to be more work. But I'm going to be rewarded for making my effort to do something that I know is needed. I believe in you. I believe in humanity. I also believe in the reality that everybody that you think cares about you, have your best interests at heart, that's the center. Everybody don't care about you. Everybody don't love you. Some people do. Take some time to appreciate those that love you. And always be careful about those who don't or might not. Change your mindset. I changed my mindset. And I support black business. I want to start with that. That's why I got this. I'd like to tell you a story, but I'll just go straight to the end of the story. I studied marketing and actually international trade, but I studied marketing and advertising. I know the story of how Post Cereal was able to get their product on the same shelf or on the same aisle in the supermarket as Kellogg's. I've been trying my best to communicate to Mr. Calvin Brodus that I know. Only reason I just don't say it is because he don't know, might not be concerned, but this is a fact. There are at least 4 different marketing companies whose main agenda is to research and to examine us to compete with this. All right? That's a reality. You can find that information. At least 4. I'm scared to think of how many more I didn't discover, but it's at least 4. That's enough. 1 is enough. It's 4. If that cereal is a success, it could be an example. See, we can love each other and support each other. First, we have to understand we've been hypnotized, we've been brainwashed to not think that we deserve to unite, to not want to unite, and to think that we're incapable of uniting. We could start with something like that. But the leadership has to be open to hear what somebody like me has to say. I'm a student. I'm a student of Adam Smith's Wealth of Nations. I'm a student of Hebrew, Greek, and Latin. I like to study. I had no idea that God was leading me to learn what I needed to learn because he wanted to take us to another level, because we will help save even the evil people that plot against us and want to oppress us. They don't know that they hurting themselves and their soul. They don't know. They're not wise enough to know that. Hitler had people putting him in power, keeping him in power, feeding him information. God can do anything. And not trying to be a part of God's righteousness condemns your eternal soul. So you know, you might be in the same category with Oprah Winfrey financially, but let me tell you about her. She don't sleep well because she know, even if not She don't let herself know consciously. She know in her subconscious, she don't know who's plotting to take her life. That's not comfortable. Certain things you can only be so much in denial about. She don't realize if she do people wrong. Let me give you an example. Her friend, Gail K. Alright? Kobe Bryant did a lot for his community and different random people. That wasn't even necessarily his lane, but he did. When he was killed in that helicopter crash, nobody was talking about his infidelity. Let me describe his infidelity. His being a man out on the road, liking women. That's the same as appreciating a woman. He was always a target. The more money you got, the more enemies you have in secret in this world. Okay? Wasn't nobody talking about that when he got killed. Gail King didn't even own up to the fact that that was all her idea to do that and to press that woman. The man hadn't been buried yet. That's cold-blooded. That's inhuman. It's definitely hating your own culture. And CBS forces her down our throat. But they don't know. I don't think that they know. I don't think they've done enough surveys. I don't think that they know. Over 65% of the black population subconsciously don't like CBS. What they do know is, they ain't gonna tell you, they do know the significant drop in their commercial dollars and the worth of placing a commercial on CBS before Gail King tried to desecrate this man, not caring about his family that had to go to a funeral. Remaining kids that no longer had a father. No longer had a father. These people that think that that money just is what they should worship, they might not even know that they worshiping money. And they treat people bad. This ain't nothing new. But to think about them innocent other children that Kobe Bryant had. It's a rough thing to have to pick out clothes for your child. Sorry. Okay, I'm getting through this. It's a difficult thing. Gail didn't care. When she was interviewing R. Kelly, who did some much more heinous things that came out, I know, because I know somebody that was involved with him. Gail King laughed. Please look at it. They've been editing away because I remember seeing the original one and I saw the edited one. They've been chipping away slowly. They didn't want to do it too quick because it draw too much attention. But they've been chipping away at her laughing. People was like, "Oh, Gail, were you frightened? No, she was laughing. She was happy as hell. Because she knew she going to make some money. Her status going to go up because Robert was showing himself. She was happy. She blamed CBS. She said, well, we're going to have a conversation because she tried to act like she tried to implant in the public's mind that she was just doing her job. She justified by saying, well, people are talking about it. You're a lying hoe. I should have said that. I should have said that. I let my emotions take me too far. What I was going to say was a lying, hopeless person without a soul. I got notes about what I'm supposed to say and not say, and I got carried away. I'm human. But like I said, lying, hopeless person. Well, that's going to wrap this up. Be deep brainwashed. Write down what you want and what you do not want. Write down, make a list of what you want to happen and what you want to stop happening. Okay? Let me tell you why. The spoken words release a frequency that changes reality. An action is reality changing because you're writing something down. That's a power. That's an energy. There's people that know this. They don't want you to know this. They don't want the disenfranchised, the lower class or the middle class, and much of the lower upper class to know the power of these things. You can change your mindset. Using the pitch, the tone, the volume of my voice, you have now received the fact that it is a lie to think that we deserve our condition, we do not deserve to unite, and we're incapable of uniting. That's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. We got a window of opportunity. We're going to take it. Because you just got truth implanted inside your psyche. That word from the Greek. All right? Thank you. Have a great day. I will see you next Wednesday.